Hey! So today I'm doing part 2 of Gapping in the UK. So now that you know how to get over to the UK, you probably want to know what you're going to be doing in the UK. If you work at a boarding school, that is, which is what I'm doing, by the way. So I'm going to tell you all the things that you might be doing if you are a gapper in a UK boarding school. So I brought some timetables with me. These are actually my timetables, and I'm just going to tell you the sort of things that I have done, and then also some of the things that my friends have done that I don't have to do. So as a GAP student in a UK boarding school, you're going to be somewhere between a matron and a teaching assistant / slave. So obviously helping out in classrooms is a major one that you might do as a GAP student. That could range from helping out in pre-prep, which is nursery up to grade 2, or helping in a lower school or upper school. It really just depends on where you're needed, but often it'll involve reading, helping the kids out with their schoolwork, supervising them, making sure they get everything done, helping out just generally in the classroom. Often that would mean preparing things for another lesson, like photocopying or sticking stuff in, stuff like that. Another thing that you're most likely to do if you work in a UK boarding school is to help out around the boarding house. Now that could mean anything from making their drinks, changing their sheets, putting away their clothing, making sure that their hair's done, making sure that they shower, making sure that all their prep's done, putting them to bed and making sure they go to bed, looking after them if they get sick, helping them if they need anything, and just generally being there to talk to them. Obviously, because they're boarding, they don't see their parents as often as other day students, so it's really nice as a gapper to be a mid-ground between teacher and pupil, because that's really essentially what you are, just like an older brother or sister. Another thing that you'll probably also be doing if you're working in a boarding house is doing boarding admin. Again, that means printing out photos and putting them up on boards, helping to organise weekend activities, making sure that the boarding house is a safe and happy place to live. Also, it means doing laundry, which is just a fantastic job to do. Another thing that I've personally done, and I do know a few friends that have done it, is work in the school office, and that essentially comes down to laminating and filing. Just laminate and file. That's my life. And actually, if you ask what a gapper did and what they hated the most, it would probably be laminating, because for some reason every sheet of paper that passes through a school needs to be laminated. And we always happen to end up with the job of laminating. It's crazy how that happens, hey? Something I also do is I supervise music practice with boarders, and that essentially means sitting in the room and listening to them play a variety of instruments quite loudly in both morning and night, and it's just a whole lot of fun. I really enjoy it. Another thing that you will most likely be doing, particularly if you're relatively sporty, and even if you're not, I'm sure you'll get dragged into it, is helping out with games. Now at the moment my school is doing rounders in cricket. I've never played rounders before, but I am now coaching my own rounders team. So good. I don't know any of the rules, and it should be an interesting season. Another thing that you'll probably take part in is weekend activities. Now at my school that is a very big thing, and each week we'll either have an on-site activity or we'll go off-site and go to an exciting place. For example, we've been to the ice hockey, we've also been ice skating, gone skiing on a dry slope, we've been go-karting, we've been bowling, we've made cakes, we've done paintings, we've had an active day. So there's a lot of different things that you can do on a weekend, and so yes, that is another thing. You may not get your weekends. So let me just explain how some schools work. At my school I get a day off during the week, and then I work both days of the weekend. But at other schools where my friends are at, they work a full week and then they have the whole weekend off. Also, in most UK boarding schools, don't get excited because the majority of them have Saturday school. So you essentially have no weekend. That's what I'm trying to get at. But that's okay because you do fun activities. Another thing you might be doing is helping out with activities for day students and boarders alike. For me, I'm doing a whole lot of exciting ones this term. On Mondays I do den building, Tuesdays ICT, and then on Friday I get to go sailing once a week on our lake, which is so exciting and really, really cool. And it's such a lovely thing to do because you do get to know the day students as well as the boarders. And it's also just a generally fun thing to do. Like, I made a killer den yesterday. Like, it was mint. And I was quite proud of my efforts. Quite proud indeed. So as you can see, obviously, as you can probably tell, a GAPPER's timetable is full on. And it's really important that if you find it too difficult, you need to tell your supervisor that you can't cope. Because as much as you may think that they are, they're definitely not there to run you into the dirt and tire you out. So obviously this is just my timetable and what my friends have told me. Some of my friends don't work in the classroom at all and are strictly matrons, whereas others work only in the classrooms and don't do any boarding. So it does really depend on what school you go to and what they require from you as a GAP. So that is it for this week's video. I hope you enjoyed and took something away from this. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Same as if you liked me or this channel, please subscribe. My links will be down below. But anyway, I will see you next week. So, bye. Ciao.